What's up, everybody? Good morning and welcome to the Morning Market Report. It is Monday, end of the month, September 30th. We're about to head into October, but right now we do have a lot of green here on the daily. Actually, am I on the daily? I think I'm on the hourly. On the hourly, yes, on the hourly. My bad. But on the daily, we got some red. There we go, guys. We were talking about this last week about the price action, what we needed to retest here. Right there, nope, right there. We said we need to retest this 200. I think we still need to retest the 100, just so you know. But I talked about this value area high right there. I said that is a key point of rejection that we need to keep an eye on, because if we get rejected off of that, we would likely be heading back to retest those simple moving averages that we have not retested yet. That was the premise on Friday. We are at resistance. This is where I'm looking for it to go back to. That's exactly where we are right now. Can it stay there? We're going to be taking a look at those charts, diving in today. Plus, we're going to be looking at what's going on in China. And as the thumbnail said, a $100 XRP FD has to be cringing right now as we speak from that topic. But guys, we're going to be taking a look at where that information is coming from and a whole lot more today on the Morning Market Report. Let's get it, guys. Classes in session. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Morning Market Report here on Piper Academy. This is the show where we come out at the market open. We talk about what's hot, what's going on in the markets, give you guys the news, the economic breakdown, and all the knowledge that you need, because knowledge is profit. But I don't do the show alone. I got a team. Let's go ahead and bring them all up. What's up, OC Guy and the Trade Fly? What's up, fellas?
What is going on, fam? Hope everyone had a great weekend. We were mixing it a little bit. My little girl, she had a wrestling tournament, so she actually got second place, which was pretty cool. She was wrestling up a weight class too, so even more impressive. So that was super cool. We did that this weekend, and my Washington Commanders whooped the heck out of the Arizona Cardinals. So if you guys are Cardinals fans, sorry about your luck, but we had to do it to you. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the chat real quick. Say what's up to a couple people. We got Crypto Trades in here. Alexander G, the best mod in the house. LBC with the waves. Buck, my man, he's in here. Museum of Corruption. Kyle Fields with a yo. Wick 589. Harps in here. Crypto Billy, my man. How you doing? Hope all is well, my friend. Amy Lives Crypto's in here. Retro Mike Tech. You know, this is his favorite show, and quite possibly his favorite host. Who else we got in here? I think Arson246, and that is fantasy football. Crypto Ability. I do not think I won. I'll have to double check. My fantasy football teams are hot garbage this year. I had one guy tear his ACL on the Chiefs, which ruined the game for one of my leagues. But my actual team is doing well, and you know what? That is good enough for me. That makes me happy. So
Nice.
other than that, pass it over to you guys.
OC, what's up, fella? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing fantastic. I had a great night's sleep, and also, MJ got the Thermomix last week, and she's been cooking some delicious, delicious meals. So yeah, it's been a great weekend. Today I walked out home with a homemade brush bread. So I'm dying to do some breakfast as the show.
Awesome. Well, I'm dying to do some news and some TA. So let's go ahead and jump into all that content, and let's get that up here. Of course, we couldn't have a show start off without all of my overlays moving over the top of my charts. But don't worry, we're gonna get that going, guys. We got some news coming out this week. Today at 1:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Jerome Powell is going to be speaking, and I do believe that there's a little bit of a bullish, hawkish versus dovish approach that he's going to need to take on that, on whatever he talks about today, because if he's overly dovish, it could give presence of a lack of conviction or a lack of sincerity on how the economy is looking. But if he's overly hawkish, he could scare the crap out of people on top of the 50 basis points. Because right now, it looks like we could get another 50 basis points in November. So, double 50 basis point rate cuts kind of scare investors sometimes. So, depending on how he narrates, how he frames his comments today, can really have a play on that. So, be watching for 155. This is the first time really that he's come out and been speaking since the rate cut. So, how he approaches all of that is going to be very important to be watching today. That's going to be at 1:55 Eastern Standard Time. So, but let's go ahead and jump into the news. Let's get into that. Let me get everything set up here, and we'll go jump over there. Take a look at everything that you guys need to know today on the news. Brought to you by Decrypted.tax, guys. So taking a look here on the daily, like we were saying, a little bit of red on here. If we just look at the market cap on the daily, you can see Bitcoin's down 2.6%, Ethereum's down 0.82%, BNB's down 3.3%, Solana holding about neutral. Let's go ahead down here and see what these prices are actually looking like. Bitcoin's sitting at $64,000, and that's okay. Where is that 65? Why does $64,000 sound familiar? It's that 200-day simple moving average, guys, and we're back retesting it right now. So, sitting at $64,021 total. Down 2.6% for the day. Starting to get a little bounce on the hourly here. I'm looking over at CNBC over here, and it looks like the markets are starting to get a little bit of a green open also after that pullback. The Nikkei, the Japanese stock market, kind of had about a 4% pullback. Looks like the Dow is still red, but it looks like the NASDAQ may be turning green. So S&P is still red. Yeah, just only the NASDAQ that is currently sitting in a positive amount of money there. So on the market open, Solana up about 0.16%, 0.84% over the past hour. So it obviously had gone red here. Now it's regaining some of that, sitting at 157.14. Doge had a nice little run this weekend and then took it all back, dropping down to 12 cents right there. I was hoping to see a 15-cent Doge on that pump, but Bitcoin did not allow that to happen. It said, nah, fam, I'm the big brother here, and go clean your room. Put Doge back in the cage is what happened there. So ton coin sitting at about 0.43% to the upside, about $5.82. What else we got here? I want to go see XRP. Where's that XRP at again? Right there. Yeah, so it's at 63 cents, guys. This is 63 cents, and that community poll called for $100 XRP. That would be astronomical. That would be an astronomical number, but we're going to look at that and see if it's ridiculous or not. How about that? We'll go with that. On the top 20, rounding it out here, near protocol at number 18, down 1.4%, and then Polkadot, Chainlink, and Aleo. Can one of you guys look this up? I don't even know this token. It went up 54.5% in the past week, down 13.9% on the daily, and made it to the number 14 market cap. That's odd, but okay. I don't even know what token this is. I've never even heard of this. Somebody's going to have to help me out in the chat if you know that one. Let's look at the Sphere and Greed, guys. We're looking at Greed right now, sitting at 61 right now in Greed. Moving over to the liquidations. In the past 24 hours, 64,184 traders were liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $179.15 million. Largest single liquidation was Bitcoin on Binance for $1.6 million. Here we go. Here's your economic calendar for the week, guys. We got Fred Bowman today. Not really concerned about her. I don't think that anything's going to come out. If you don't know, this is the one person that actually called for 25 basis points on the rate cuts, not 50. It's the only person. So going to be watching really Fed Chair Powell today, not really Bowman. Don't really care about that one. We do get Chicago PMI, and you can see right now, I want to set this up for the week. Let's go over here. Let's talk about what's going on for the week, and then I'm going to show you these numbers and why this week could be a pullback week. Fed Chair Powell speaks on Monday. I already talked about that. September ISM manufacturing data on Tuesday. This is your manufacturing strength, which is a backbone indicator of how strong is the economy, right? JOLTS job opening on Tuesday also. This is the non-farm jobs available in America, right? Then we get ADP unemployment or ADP employment data. Okay. This is non-farm, so not seasonal. This is set to work people. October, we get the OPEC. The October OPEC meeting is on Wednesday. That's going to be oil, another indicator of the economy. Thursday, we get initial jobless claims, and then the September jobs report on Friday. So huge week of economic data. Let's go back here and take a look, and let's break this down. And I'll show you these numbers and why this week could be a little pullback. First of all, we get Fed Chair Powell today. Like I said, if he's more hawkish, it's just one of his normal things. He's got to go and talk to people. Today, I believe it is a congressional one. So, FD White, what's up? We were talking about you, man. $100 XRP, bro. Let's look at Tuesday here. Tuesday, we get ISM manufacturing. So manufacturing PMI is saying that it's going to be up from its previous. Let's go in here and take a look at this. So this manufacturing PMI is based on data compiled from purchasing and supply executives. The survey responses reflect the change, if any, to the current month compared to the previous month for each of the indicators for orders, backlogs of orders, stuff like that. So this is how strong is the manufacturing demand, okay? And so you can see it's pretty much coming in right now for Tuesday about neutral, really. It might be a little bit more demand than normal, but let's get into the ones that are bothersome. Jolt's job openings at 7.67 million there. It actually is looking at coming in a little bit less, 3/1000ths of a of there less, and then we have forecast that actually calls for it to be quite a bit back. So it'd be 7.65 million instead of 7.67. So there's one that could be an indicator of weakening labor force. Okay, let's move on down here. Let's keep it going. ADP employment change. This is showing an increase of 120,000, but forecasted to be down about 10,000 jobs. So there is one that's either strengthening or weakening. So either way, you've got volatility that's going to come off of that ADP employment change. Keep on moving down. We got initial jobless claims. This is a weekly report for unemployment. Talking about it being higher, rising 2,000 people, 2,000 more people filing for unemployment. Okay. So that could be an indicator of weakening labor force. Let's keep going down here. We got non-farm payrolls. Non-farm payrolls is expected to be contracting. We're at 142,000 right now. Could see 140,000 on the consensus, 130,000 on the forecast. And that is wage weakening. Wages are contracting. They're not paying people as much. So non-farm payrolls dropping significantly. If it's 130,000, that would be 12,000 less than what it was previously on the one before. And then we look here at the unemployment data on Friday, guys. This is the unemployment rate. Currently at 4.2. Consensus is out to be neutral. We have a forecast coming in that it's going back up again. All of this data this week combined, guys, could relay to the Fed and to all the investor sentiment that the labor force is weakening. Remember, the one thing that has really been the defense against the talk of recession has been, as long as we continue to see a strong labor market, we will remain data dependent. ... That is the way of the Fed speak, right? That's Fed speak. We're now starting to possibly this week get all of the data stating the true strength or weakness of the labor market here in the United States. So keep an eye on that, guys. A lot of data this week. I do want to point out that now, based on the current data, what we're looking at, there is a 40% chance we're now below that 50-50 chance there that we were seeing for a 50% chance of a 50 basis point rate cut. It's now only a 40% chance of a 50 basis point, looking like right now just under 60% chance of 25 basis points rate cut for September the 7th. And reminder, we only have 2 more of those FOMC rate cut meetings, or rate decision meetings, I should say. Most likely they are cuts, but that was November 7th and December 18th are the only 2 that we have left this year. Let's jump into the Kabisi letter, because there's a piece in here that I want to go over, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about these charts, because we have a thing with China. Where's it at? There it is. Let me pull this up. Show more. Thank you very much. Okay. So this is from the Kabisi letter. And by the way, for those that are members in our Discord, the weekly newsletter from the Kabisi letter has been dropped in our Discord. That is a perk for members. Guys, if you go check it out, it's a really good article. It's got like his predictions for the week. He's outperformed the S&P by far. So if you're interested in any stock info, that Kabisi newsletter is phenomenal. So if you're a member, you can get access to that. It's absolutely included right now for 30 days. All members get it, and then at 60 days, magna cum laude and summa cum laude, and then after that, it's a summa only. This is a $130 a month package that you guys are getting dropped in there. So every week. This is insane. The Kabisi letter. In a matter of days, China has gone from severe recession worries to posting its biggest daily stock market gain since 2008. There has been so much economic stimulus that brokerages are crashing due to high demand. What just happened in China? Let's go take a look at this thread and see what it is. China's Shanghai Composite Index just soared over 8% today alone. This puts the index at over 20% in 5 days, more than double the average S&P 500 annual return. This would be like the S&P 500 going from 5,000 to 6,000 points in 1 week. Totally unprecedented. And you can see there that chart, 20.42% up for the week there. Meanwhile, the Beijing 50 index, similar to the Dow Jones Industrial, soared 23% today. This marks the biggest daily gain in history for the index. Just days ago, China was concerned about deflation levels that are worse than 2008. What just happened? They're not worried about that anymore. But I will tell you, their days are numbered. They can't keep this up. When this turns off, what will happen? I think that we see a sharp decline on their market as soon as the last stimulus check goes out. It all started last week when China flooded hundreds of billions of dollars into the stimulus into their system just by cutting the bank reserve requirement by 50 basis points. Over $140 billion of liquidity was added, and China signaled that much more stimulus was coming. Today, China announced it bought a whopping $28.5 billion worth of their bonds from dealers in September. And then China's finance ministry also reopened 6 ultra-long special sovereign bonds. Pandemic-like stimulus is being rolled out on a daily basis in an effort to recover the economy. This is an example of this type of stuff that they talk about in that newsletter. In May, we saw the below headlines as China's ETF saw massive outflows. Today, China's ETF market hit a record 3 trillion yuan. It's about $427 billion in US. China's ETF market is officially larger than ever as retail investors pile in on the hopes of getting more stimulus, more printer go brr. So they posted about this as it began, guys. So this is the type of stuff that's in that newsletter. Go check it out in the Discord. It's there. China's hope here is that the stimulus will lead their economy out of deflation. However, to sustainably end deflation, something needs to change structurally. It sparked a flame, but the fire has little room to grow. Let's jump back over here. We talked about this last week. I said, yeah, it's good, but it's really just a Band-Aid on an open wound. It's you got a mortar wound on your side, and here's a Band-Aid for you. I don't know that this is going to do anything, and I think that we will see a continuation of money pumping into the markets. I actually read an article earlier. I don't know if I saved that article, but no, I don't think I did. But it said that investors plan to continue to buy until the last stimulus check. I think after that, a lot of people are going to take all their money and run. What do you think, TradeFly?
No, I mean that is a interesting take, and maybe not a bad idea. If you're just going historically and you look back at last time they pumped money into our economy, yeah, we had a big run up. But that being said, even though there was a little bit of a pullback, where are we at right now? All time
Yep.
highs.
Yep, that's
So
true.
it's really hard to say. Like you may miss a good part of the move, but I would say that would be like a nice like little maybe conservative play, kind of ride the wave, take some profits, and just live for the next setup really. So yeah, interesting take. I'm not against it. I think it's probably a decent play. Hey, shout out though. Guess what? It is Crux of Crypto's birthday, man. Let's show my man
Yes, it
some
is.
love.
It is.
Yeah. Crypto Billy in
Happy
here with a
birthday,
membership.
Crux.
Yeah, there you go. He's throwing some love in the chat there. Happy birthday, Crux from Crypto Billy, along with a membership. And then Retro Mike Tech throwing a $10 super chat. He said, buy some nacho and cheese to celebrate Crux's B-Day. There you go, man. So
I
thank
like
you.
it. I
Thank you
like it.
both for your generosity. It's very much appreciated.
Now here's before OC, you got thoughts on this, on how you think this is going to play out, and then I'll tell you why I think this is different than what it's apples and oranges when we compare it to the United States and their stimulus. But go ahead. What's your thoughts on this? I'd love to hear it.
Well, my thought on this is that we are absolutely going to be seeing a reaction in the markets. I mean, especially when talking about China and United States, they both are having kind of like the same issues, right? This is something that they both need to start working on, and I would say quote and quote together. And I think that's what they're doing, right? It's not that they go hand by hand and plan together, but as we saw, it kind of like seems like China was just waiting to see how the states it's going to be handling their rate cuts, and then kind of like a mimicking a little bit of what they did, right? We do have a bubble, especially on China. We do remember last time that I mentioned that China has been stopping pushing some data, and one of those data it is jobs on young people, right? So we don't know what's going on there. We just know, but on the ground, let's just shade it, or I mean, non-official sources that younger people are not having enough work, or they're having a lack of ability to get one and also sustain a way of living. Things are getting kind of like, I would say, difficult. I would start thinking that we could be seeing a possible deflationary situation in China when things starting to go low in price because of a lack of employment, people not spending that much, then not buying as much, and maybe seeing some goods and services going down in price. If we start seeing that and jobs do not pick up, I think that's going to be a big issue. But so far, just like Treyflin mentioned, maybe jump in just for the last part of the ride on of indexes and markets speculation before we see the recession effects taking effect. I do think that we're in a recession. I do think that we're gonna be seeing the results in a little bit as low as maybe a 6 month or 3 months a time, and I think that it's not gonna be as big of a deal this first part than, and will be defined the second part of a possible recession or a possible soft landing. The fact of the matter is that we're into a pickle. The whole world right now, it is, I will say it, on crisis, or at least on alert. That's
Yep,
my take on it.
I agree. Absolutely on alert.
Yeah.
So let's jump over here. Let's finish this out real fast. I don't even know what that was. What the hell? OC, why is your background going? Turn your background off. Run.
What's up?
Yeah. So here we go. So this is the difference. Let's
You gotta be
talk
young,
about
Piper.
this.
You gotta be young to know about that one. Sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry. Hey, maybe I've never seen, movies or memes or anything. I don't have a 25-year-old at my house. The Kabisi letter does state this. Let's talk about why this is different. Because when we had our stimulus kicking off, it was because we had an economic shutdown, right? Big difference there. We had nobody able to go to stores and people were losing jobs. The big difference is with China's is this. Theirs has been because of deflation. Ours was inflation. So stimulus into a slower market does cause inflation. Theirs is because nobody was buying without any reason. They just, hey, if it's this price today, tomorrow to be cheaper, I'll wait. Tomorrow to be cheaper, I'll wait. So since late 2022, China's consumer sentiment has been a major issue, largely due to deflation. Let's go down here and finish this out. This brings up the same question we faced in 2020. What happens if too much stimulus sparks a return of inflation? After all, central banks around the world are cutting rates like we're in a recession while calling for a soft landing. Could inflation return in 2025? Which we are starting to see some indications of that also. And it says this is only the beginning of the road for China's economic turnaround. Like U.S. markets, whatever China does to its economy is generally felt around the world, which is why I said we could continue to see markets go up because China's market is really pumping it hard. But over the last 15 years, China's economic growth has declined from the 2007 peak of 14.2% to near 5% in the recent years. China's debt to GDP ratio reached 311% in 2023, which is more than double the 150%. So their economy is not doing the greatest right now. It is shrinking and contracting while their GDP is getting wrecked. And then on top of that, I don't think they have enough stimulus. They don't have enough stimulus to cause the tip over of massive inflation run up in order to maintain their growth rate. It's not natural, and when it's not natural, you know what happens. Like if I need to, if I want to make OC guy bigger, and I give him a whole bunch of protein, yeah, he's probably going to get bigger, but unless he's doing other things along with it, he's just going to get bigger. Exactly. Not all muscles. So you got to do things along with that injection, right? And so I don't think that they're doing that. But hey, we'll have to watch and see. We'll keep an eye on it. But let's go ahead and let's jump into Bitcoin. Let's take a look at that and see how those markets are looking right now, guys. And we will go and talk about this. Let's jump over there. So taking a look at Bitcoin here, guys, this is on Friday. We were talking about these key levels. Come back here, sir. Thank you. On Friday, we were talking about this level here. I said we have a value area high that we are approaching. This is the Friday. Nope, sorry. This is the Friday candle right here that we were talking about. And I said we're running up to some key resistance. If we do break that, watch for the quantum reactor there. That is where I would expect a pullback. Of course, I got some razzing in the chat charts in the chat over that. But hey, I said, look, it is what it is. These are key resistance, and we still have not retested this. We broke through it, have not come back to retest that 200. And technically, guys, we broke clean through the 100, and we never came back and retested that. So I said, watch for a pullback right here at $65,700. And if we run up, watch for us to get a rejection around that on that quantum reactor. We actually came in just under it, little front running action on that top side sell off. And now we have fallen back down. So, it worked. But yeah, we're looking at 200 here, guys. 200-day simple moving average. Looking down at the oscillators, money flow is still green, but I am starting to see, if I put this on the 12-hour, I am starting to see this. You can see that we do have a green candle bouncing cleanly right there on that 200-day simple moving average. What does that mean for price action? Is it going to bounce up from here and we're just going to return back up to that quantum reactor in that platinum pocket? I don't think so, guys, and here's why. We got a couple of things down here going on. One, go back, sir. Thank you. I clicked the wrong button. There we go. One is this. We have volume starting to fall. You see that? We have volume coming to the downside right here. Money flow is also starting to come down in the True 7, which is a combination of confluence across 7 different indicators, all coming down at the same time as the oscillator ribbon. We did get that printed. VWAP overbought. Because money flow is coming down along with volume coming down as this is trying to go up, this tells me that this is not strong enough. The bulls do not have control of the support level. I do think we're going to come back and test that 100, guys. And that's coming in at about 61,110. Let's go ahead and jump this over to TradeFly and take a look at his heat map, see what he's got there.
Right on. So first thing we're going to look at is a liquidation heat map on the weekly. So a little bit more zoomed out. We typically look at the 3-day. 2 spots I really want you to look at is one up here at about 66.7. That's heating up, and that's really people taking leverage short positions, and really their stop losses are over this area of resistance, right? So you got an area of resistance. You did actually print, I think on this way up, we actually ended up printing some bearish divergence that we'll look at when we get to the charts. But as you can see, price action is now starting to work its way down. There was a little hot spot right here. And if you guys remember from last week, we kept talking about this area right here, about 62.5, somewhere in that zone. There was some liquidity sitting, and I really did think they were going to clear that liquidity out. But look how hot and how quick this one built up, rated about 63.35. 1.50. So that happened pretty much between the last time we talked on Friday and this weekend. So it came down pretty quick, clear that liquidity out. We are within striking distance again of, I'd say, the 62.5, but the hottest spot on the map is up by 66,750. So the interesting thing is, if you go down to the 3 day and you start looking at it, you can see that it looks like it's kind of getting beaten in submission, right? It comes down, clears out liquidity, not much left for it to grab on the 3 day. Let's go over to the chart and kind of take a look see there. So first thing we're going to look at is the 4 hour. And I think Piper did kind of print out some important levels there. But one of them is actually going to be right here. So when I go over to the daily, let's go to the daily first because I want to talk about the point of control. All right. So this point of control right here has acted as support. So once it got over, right, we flipped what was resistance into support, and then we ultimately made a bigger move up and right. And you can see I had this arrow here that I drew for you guys on Friday. I thought, a retest of this area was definitely within play. And here we are right now. So a nice little wick here on the daily, at least showing a little bit of buying pressure, which is good news. And here's that hit of a bearish divergence I was talking about. If you're looking right here, price action going up, RSI coming down. Unfortunately, you did get a couple peak seekers there too, saying, hey, like it's probably time for a little bit of a cool down. Our smart target did get hit. We talked about that on Friday as well. But this trend line right here, I pointed this out to you guys live on the show. As I was doing some TA kind of in the background as we were talking and kind of doing our thing, I went back and I was like, I drew that line and I was like, wow, like, look, it goes all the way back to like when we started in February, right? So hit a little resistance, actually flipped it into support. And then look, support, and then resistance with a breakdown came up, support, breakdown, and then retest with another breakdown, right? So remember, when I'm looking for significant areas, it just doesn't have to just be a horizontal level. It can be, trend lines that are going up and right or down and right. But, just looking at that, I thought that could be an area of resistance. I wasn't, very confident in it, but I did want to point it out because I thought it might be a possibility that we would catch some resistance there. So, needless to say, the bull or the bearish divergence ended up printing with this candle right here, right? So that was another indicator that we were potentially looking at a pullback after finding a little resistance on that trend line. So here we are at time now. You got a point of control, and until this breaks down, that should act as support. So that's what I would be looking for the point of control, looking for a bounce off of this area, or at least for it to hold up a support. And don't be surprised if we find ourselves with some price action between these areas. So anywhere, downside 63, 100 or so, definitely makes a lot of sense. If we do continue to break down from that area of support, might be an opportunity. And I think I talked about this before. If we break down, don't be scared to look for a potential short opportunity if you get that OC retest to further come down, clear out that liquidity, and start looking at the dynamic reactor as well as the value area low. So you're starting to get a little bit of confluence here with these two oscillator, well, not the oscillator, but the dynamic reactor as well as the value area low. So again, I think you can find support there. But that's a couple of the key areas. So I say top side of that move is going to be about 61.4. So keep an eye on that area for some price action. But yeah, right now just kind of chilling. Let's see if the 4 hour at least is showing us anything in terms of. Okay, so you're getting oversold, which is obvious. It's kind of a good thing. So if you have a big move up, going up and right, you do want to see the oscillator at some point reset. So you're getting a retest of an area of support. You're getting a reset of the oscillator. Now, Piper was saying that things are kind of working its way down or starting to bend down to a negative direction, and I see that. But I would say there's definitely an opportunity for this level to hold up. So definitely keep your eye on that. But it just depends where you guys are at in your trade right now. Like if you took a long, somewhere down here and you want to lock in profits, that could be an opportunity. I would probably be underneath the dynamic reactor at a minimum because that holds up usually at support when we get an uptrend. So definitely keep your eye on that one. I'm gonna go back and just kind of look at how it's, yeah. So you can see since it's been green, you had a little hit of red there, but more or less it stayed on the top side of the dynamic reactor. So there's a couple of
Awesome.
areas for you guys to look at. Yeah. So there's not too much that we haven't talked about, and not much more I can really add to what Piper's talking about. So cool. That's what
Perfect.
I'm looking at.
All right, OC, what you got for us, bro?
Well, I have a little bit of an old formation in here where I was thinking maybe we could be having a double topping here at least at the beginning of our range. But at that point, we were looking at this triangular pattern with this centroid point right here, right? So we had a breakout retest and then going for the bigger support, which is just a confluence between the reactors here, or at least going to this big area of support once again. Let me just bring up a couple of things interesting that I was looking at yesterday. By the way, shout out to the other Alex on Crypto. He was also talking about this yesterday on his last stream, which is the weekly. Let me go over the weekly very quickly. And we got, oh, come on, let's move this out of the way. And we got a weekly close of a 3 white soldiers, right? So we are heading into Pumptober. So 3 white soldiers is a pretty exciting pattern here to be closing down. Nonetheless, we also had other 3 white soldiers here and started or ended up with a red candle here. Usually we move sideways, but at the end of it all, we did pumped a little bit. That was after a little bit of more of a month. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe fifth, just to compensate for closes and opens, and then we made the pump. So there's a little bit of a chance, guys, that this pump topper might be a little bit vanilla, a little bit sideways, not that exciting, and that is just because of this candle. Nonetheless, this candle is still very young. It's just 1 day's worth of a weekly candle, and it needs remains to be seen what is this candle is going to be doing. Hopefully it starts moving forward to the upside and right. Other than that, I mean, if I start looking at the weekly liquidations, which the same that was talking about, TradeFly was talking about, I just see, I mean, we could get both sides here. I mean, they're kind of like from the range, they're equally high and low. So, but I would say that the closest one from where we are right now is to the upside. So, and we are kind of like going to the zero line, or we are going to the zero line, kind of like I'm making that try to make a burst in here. What I would like to say is a little bit of volume increasing maybe a wick to the upside. I would not mind for that candle to retrace a little bit and then hold this position somewhere around there. That will give me hopes, very high hopes, for breaking this handle from the copper handle or flag from the bull flag to the outside a little bit more for the ends or mids of October if we start making that move and just getting away from these areas of liquidity right down here. Other than that, I mean, we do have a big order block right down here. I don't think it is out of the possibilities, but so far it's just so far away, but it's worth just to keep an eye on it. As long as always, we also have another order block being formed in here. This adds to the magnetism or to the magnetic effect that we could be going up and then rejecting from it. So other than that, I mean, it is just, I would say, the waiting zone at this point and looking for possible re-entries. That's what I'll be looking for throughout this week.
Awesome. Yeah, a couple of things to keep an eye on here that I want to point out is this here. Let me bring this on. So let me jump over here to the chart. Nope, to the chart. Not that one. To the chart. It doesn't want to go. There we go. Okay, so we do have this here. I'm looking at a 5-day chart here, guys, and I want to point out, you can see that we have this little point here from top to bottom, right? This was our high for candle closes on the 5-day, and then the bottom here for the low, right? That's what we had there. If we turn those off and we go to, I believe this one, yeah, that's the one. So this was our next high, and you can see we're a little bit below that high. That is a lower high, and then we have a And then we have a lower low that we created here. There we go. There's first low, second low, lower low, right? If we come in on the next one here and we take a look at that, that is going to be the orange. Can I get orange? Thank you. There's the bottom and there's the top on that. New high here, lower high, and then we have a lower low. As of right now, guys, we can look at this and go, this has now created a lower low. These all, when we put all these on, you'll see that we definitively have lower lows coming in and lower highs coming in. And the point that I talked about last week was that we needed to break this line right here, which is 68,200. That would create a change of the trend. Right now, the trend is your friend, right? Lower highs, lower lows. We need to break 68.2. If we are to play out, can we go back, please? Thank you. If we are to play out on this, and this is what we are doing, if the structure is, and this is not a definitive, I think this is happening, but I do want to point this out so that people understand it. If we are creating a lower high now and we're looking at lower lows, guys, a lower low would be about anywhere, at 53,200 range. I actually think that the lowest it would be about 48K. And yes, we've heard $48,000 a lot, but that would be where we would come back down and retest the 5-day dynamic reactor. You can see that we've done that quite a bit here, where it has been support and where it has been resistance. So I am watching for that level, but until we get like a change of the economic data, like labor market numbers start coming out worse, like showing, hey, weakening of the labor market, or we start getting things like, hey, inflation is returning, unemployment's going up, P&E reports from the stock markets are not doing well, Japan raises their does a rate hike of 25 basis points. Until we see those things, I think right now we could just stay inside of this range here of about $57,000 to its current price. But I just want you guys to be aware and be prepared, right? That we are creating another new lower highs, which does put into play a possible new lower low. So just keep all that in mind. I do want to also show you that we do have a reason to head back down there, guys. Taking a look here at what we have on the daily, this is the CME gap that we have not closed yet, and that CME gap is coming in about $53,000 to $54,000 down here. So keep that in mind. That has not closed. Now we did have a CME gap over the weekend on Friday. It right there, but we opened on Sunday right there. So we've already closed this week's CME gap, but we do still have one down below us there. So I just wanted to point that out. Let's jump over here. Let's talk about this XRP article, and then let's go jump into some altcoins, guys. I want to talk about why this number keeps coming up, and it's really because the community is diehard on what they have for XRP predictions, man. They really do feel this way. I don't think that it's true. I don't think that it's going to happen, but I will point out that XRP rocketed 800% in fund flows as the XRP price goes parabolic. Taking a look down here on what did they say here. Another Monday brings a new weekly digital asset fund flow report from CoinShares, which tracks the movement of capital between cryptocurrency-focused exchange-traded products and funds. This week was particularly interesting as it revealed that the XRP-focused financial vehicles saw a staggering 800% increase in inflows this week. Jump over here and we have this poll. This was a poll that the community did. Keep in mind, bias, right? Bias identified. It's a community poll. XRP at $100. Community goes crazy in an X poll. The community of XRP-friendly centralized exchange, BitTrue, shared its opinions on the price target for XRP cryptocurrency. While the majority of commentators posted ridiculous super bullish predictions, the voice of bears can also be heard. XRP price goals by community. The fund starts at $100. It's the most popular price target for XRP in the seventh, which is the seventh largest cryptocurrency. Such opinion was shared by crypto holders in a public poll launched on X by BitTrue, a large centralized exchange. Today, September 30th, a major exchange, which is particularly popular among XRP Army members, asked X followers about that potential price target. And of course, they said, $100. Now, some of them went as far as to say the fund starts at $100, but 1,000 feels right to me. I just want to point out XRP erased all of its weekend gains, losing 4% in 1 hour. That is the reality of it when it comes to XRP. I just think it's funny that we keep seeing this $100 XRP pop up. And all it tells me is that the XRP community don't understand tokenomics. They don't have a crux in their fold to tell them, yeah, that's ridiculous. But hey, $100. Let the sentiment run. Am I going to buy any XRP based on even a promise of a $10 XRP? No, because I don't believe it, and I never think we're going to see a $100 XRP. But I would love to hear TradeFly and OC guys. XRP up, then down. That's right. I'd love to hear your guys' take on this. What is a realistic goal for XRP? Is it like $5? Is it? I don't think that $100 is ever going to be hit because tokenomics says TradeFly. What's your thoughts?
Can we talk when it gets to $1 first, please?
Love it.
I mean, come on, we've been stuck between like 50 and 60 cents for like months upon months. I think what I'm looking at the chart right now, I see it is up at like about $2 or so. I mean, damn, that's a nice move there, right? You're almost 4x in your money, So I mean, a move to $2, yeah, that could happen. But we have to have like a pretty nice run for Bitcoin too, right? I don't think XRP is really going to diverge from everything else too hard. It's good that they won their case, but understand that when they were going through all their legal battles, that severely hampered XRP's ability to operate, right? It cost money. It cost a lot of money to go through those legal battles. And it really, I would say, stunted their growth in a sense. But yeah, man, let's see a couple dollars first before we start talking crazy. That's what I would like to see for XRP first.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that 100%. OC, your thoughts, bro?
Well, I mean, just like you mentioned, I don't think that they have the feet on the ground, and just basic math. And I'm going to be showing you how to calculate price based on market cap. You need to have the market capitalization, get the circulating supply, and also divide the market capitalization by the circulating supply. That way, you can get your 100. So you just do a quick rule of three, and then I'm just saying because I already know. But
the math genius was talking. I thought he had a chalkboard up. I had to go look.
Could be next time. I'll promise I'll do a live about this. But just to get an idea, we need to compare market capitalization with Bitcoin, right? I mean, to do that, just set a quick rule of three and see how much market capitalization would XRP would need to get to 100. That is just insane market capitalization. Insane. I do remember when they were saying a long time ago when what was it? I think Pepe, Pepe to $1 or Pepe to $10. I was like,
no, it was $1. It was Shiba Inu to $1 is what it was. And that number actually, yes, it was Shiba Inu to $1, and it would have put the market cap of Shiba Inu higher than the entire rest of the crypto space. So it was just ridiculous. So, but when someone looks at something, if they don't understand tokenomics, it's really what it is. It's about tokenomics, right? If they look at it and they go, okay, if this just makes it to $1, I'll be rich. And that's the end of their thought process. There's no second level layer, third layer, fourth layer. Okay, well, what does that mean if this went to $1? Yeah, you made a lot of money, but hey, look, my thumbs are working. Cool. But it means also that now you have to look at what is the total market cap of Shiba Inu at that point based on its token count. how much is out there, right? And then what times that dollar, right? And then what is that in comparison to the rest of the market? Because you have to do, just like when you're selling homes, you can't just go, hey, my house is going to be worth this much money. You got to look at the comps around that house and see what they're selling for. What is the market cap of your area? And when it comes to crypto, no, Shiba Inu never was going to make it to $1. And if we look at the tokenomics on XRP at $100, I call cap, as my son would say. So there you go. Hey, but you do you. Dreams are what keep people going sometimes. So shout out to all the XRP dreamers. Let's go check out some charts. Soul Train time, Tradefly. You ready to take us on a ride on the Soul Train?
Hop aboard.
Let's
Choo
go.
choo. Let's go. All right. So we have been looking at this, and I mean, dude, we've been in this range for so long. It's almost getting a little repetitive. But I gave you guys a target of about 162, right? It's never gonna be perfect, but we got up to officially 161 and 78 cents. And I gave you guys that all the way down here. So not a bad move for Sol. Right now we do have a little horizontal level of support. I did draw that, I believe, last week as well. So we got the OC retest off the dynamic reactor. We called that one, which was nice. This was kind of the exit. You had the smart target as well as a horizontal level. We broke through, and now it's kind of doing a retest, right? So doing a retest on what was resistance, maybe flipping it into support could be an opportunity. Things I don't like is that the rest of the market is pulling back right now. So that I don't like. And then looking here, this is screaming to me a little bit of a pullback as well. So you got a reversal, the peak seeker, overbought, bearish divergence. There's a lot lining up for me right now that I'm not a big fan of. I would not personally take a long right here. That's just my own, thing there. If you guys are froggy, crazy degens, go for it. But for me personally, there's just too
Buck.
much kind of working against it. What's up?
Oh, I had to cough and say Buck. Sorry. You said if you're crazy degen, so shout out to Buck.
Yeah. What I would like to see if I was going to take this retest is that this was trending up, not down. So just to put that into perspective for you, not saying it can't bounce, probably could, but hopefully the trade was exited up here, vice letting it come down here. But anyways, looking at that, that's just kind of what we're looking at in the midterm. So high side obviously is around 162 in that area, 161, 162. That is where we found the resistance. And now, we're retesting this area, but I think this is the more plausible entry right here, the point of control dynamic reactor, that I would feel a little bit more comfortable with. It'll give the RSI an opportunity to reset. But all this is actually still trending up. So again, it's a difference between Bitcoin, right? Like this is on the daily too. So, it's, I think overall a little bit stronger than Bitcoin right now. There's just a lot of backing behind Sol. So, but again, if you're looking to get into this, if you miss this move up, I think 146, 147 is probably a decent spot to look at. And that's kind of where I'm at with Sol. That's kind of your low side and high side on Sol. If it does break through, you got the value area high to contend with, and that lines up with horizontal levels as well. Let's go ahead and throw on the old support and resistance zones as well. So there you go. So that's kind of validating what we're looking at. It's got at about 161.51, and you can see a retest of resistance. Man, the next one's all the way down here at 121. So no, that's not even. That's me. That's not, man. You would think there'd be more volume in this area. So that's interesting that there's no volume right there. So not sure that I necessarily agree with that on the daily. It's probably telling a different story on the 4 hour, but it is validating an area of resistance right here. And that's pretty clear. Look at the red dots, just kind of showing you hitting that area over and over again. So, yep, that's Sol. Pass it on. We got about 5 minutes left. So I'll pass it on to one of you guys for the next alts.
OC, what you got for us, bro?
Absolutely. Let's take a look at RTM. I just posted, guys, how to calculate the market cap very quick on the alumni channel, so just in case you are curious. We have a request very quick. Let me just read it very fast. and that is for RTM. So let's do RTM very quick. Here we go. We have an ongoing RTM that needs to be crypto against USDT. Perfect. All right, let's take a look at RTM. So RTM has been not playing very nicely. Let's take a look at daily first. It's been very, 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 very flat. I talked about this before. Like for example, if you like RTM, I am looking at this point. Well, then, and you believe that this is gonna pump. Well, then, what I would say is just get exposure, right? Remember, this is not financial advice. Why? Because what are the lowest that RTM can go? It is just basically, we are basically right there, right? So how much low could it go? I mean, it could go to zero, but we're just so close to that that it will make not much difference. Just remember that this will be kind of like a scratch ticket, right? Or a scratch lottery ticket. Just make sure that whatever you're putting there, it is for the long time. And also another important thing that you could do, it is measuring this wicks in here. For example, I don't know why my thing's not clicking it. So I'm going to be measuring the runs up here for an estimate percentage on how reactive the is RTM is. So 38%, 39%. What was this? 56% and 39%. So I'm going to go for the 39% area here and aiming and taking some profits from whenever I jumped in. So, for example, my target would be my fixed target will be somewhere around how many 0 0 15 61 67 just for whenever it pumps. I will not just be looking at these charts. Whenever it pumps, it just takes me out in profits, and just like that, make a sweet, in this case, 125%. Why? Because I'm going for measured moved here and not for percentage. Why for that? Because we can see the market cap has been going lower and basically just hit a low limit at this point. So the percentage will vary a little bit based on where we are right now. So it seems like I misread this. Sorry, my bad. I don't know why it's a little bit different one from another, but whatever that calculation gives you, just add it. So maybe 60%. I don't know. I think this one is just not correct. So something like 60%. Yeah, 60% will be my target if I get it right now or something along the lines. So that will be for RTM. Turning it back to you guys.
Awesome. Real quick, just jump over here. Guys, this is the Kabisi letter for the week of September 30th. This is in the Discord for the members, so go check it out. They're actually talking about the 41st all-time high hit, and they do believe that they're looking at a bullish growth on this as Q3 2024 nears completion. That is bullish for crypto, just so you know. It's showing bullishness on the risk markets. However, they are talking about that we do have oil prices posting a weekly drop and continuation to the downside. They're bearish on it, despite Middle Eastern wars. Remember that area where all that stuff's going on in the Middle East? That is the main transport line of oil out of the Middle East. And prices should be going up on oil. This is an economic indicator. So keep that in mind. But guys, go check this out. This is free to our members. It's included in your membership. And so it's a really good thing to take an eye, keep your eye on. So go check that letter out. And then let's jump over. I had a request by Eric Wallen. I'm going to do this really quick. He said, hey, Piper, can you take a look at MicroStrategies? He just got out of his MSTX and he said he will check this out later. So looking at MicroStrategies here, guys, we did get a top here again, not quite getting as high as what we did, but we are getting a pullback here this morning. Currently down about 3.6% on the daily. You can see right there, we did have that pullback. It opened a little high and then just dumped down. Now it's trying to get back up there. But when I look down here, I see that the True 7 has peaked. Money flow is green, but the volume's kind of low. With that True 7 peak and that overbought, guys, it is likely that if Bitcoin sees a pullback, we are going to see a pullback here. First level of support coming in at about 163.70. The next level, guys, is going to be the 382 at 141. Why? We got a quantum reactor coming through there and that dynamic reactor. Going to give us a nice little range of support there at about $141 there on MicroStrategies. Been a good stock play if you're running that along with Bitcoin. So that is for Eric Wallen. I appreciate you for dropping that request in the Discord, man. So, guys, that's all we have time for. We are at the bottom of the hour, but TradeFly OC, thank you guys for joining us here today for the morning market report. Gold getting a little pullback today. Treasury yields, 10-year, getting a little pump up today. And then the market's just kind of flat and stagnant. A lot of economic data coming out this week, guys. Watch for that volatility from the economic data. TradeFly, how are you approaching this week ahead? What's your plan, man? You're muted, bro.
You're muted.
Yeah, there you go. I got you. Don't you worry. Yeah, I'm kind of chilling, man. Honestly, I was thinking about exiting on Friday and kind of wish I did. Based on looking at that trend, the potential for setting a lower high. So now I'm just kind of sitting back and hoping for a bounce, but I think I'm probably going to lock in the profits. I'm going to find where I want. I'm going to kind of look on the charts, find a spot for bumping my stop loss up. And then if it hits, it hits. If it moves its way back up and we start looking at the trend line on the top side there that you were talking about with, I think about 68.2 or so, then I'll probably exit as well. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm pretty conservative. I'm happy with kind of the majority of my trades that I made. And now it's just a matter of protecting that capital.
Awesome. That's the point. You got to protect your wealth, right? That is the big one. OC, your thoughts, and then username asked a question. I'll address that on the way out. I know TradeFly, you got to get going, but we're going to let OC say his piece here, and then I'll go to Solo Cam. You can bounce, and I'll answer username's question because he asked a very good question. This man's doing his homework. I'm going to take the time. OC, what do you think? What's your plan this week with these markets?
All right. In fact, yesterday, Sunday, I sold a couple of my coins in here. BNB, INJ, Super, AKRO, OP, Bluer, and I'm still holding Rune, Near, and a couple of other more, but I'm looking to sell also Rune and Near. I'm risking out a little bit just in case we have that pullback. If it doesn't, well, just wait for the breakout retest and then re-enter in many of those points that I've left out. Other than that, I just want to be very transparent. Yesterday 10 p.m. my time, I risked out of those coins, and I'm standing on a little bit more USDT and USDC that I was a little bit before. But that's my thoughts on the current market situation. We're at the top of the range, so I think we buy cheap, we sell high. Right, we buy low, we sell high. So that's what I'm trying to do here, despite everything that's going on in the markets. So yeah, that's
awesome.
That's it.
Well, I appreciate you guys being on, guys. I'm going to address username stuff here, but if you haven't smashed that like button, smash that like button, hit that notification bell, get notified every time we go live. And if you truly desire to do so and you want to help us out the most, share this with a friend and tell them that we're doing this morning market report right here every single morning at 9:30 a.m. And plus Piper Academy, we've got the Crypto Nightcap, we've got the Good Morning Crypto Show with Lunar Beaches and BC Port Corp. There's all kinds of content going on here, plus a great Discord. So share it out with the friend because sharing is caring. OC, TradeFly, I appreciate you guys for joining, and I'm going to jump over here, answer username's question, and we'll wrap this up. Username, check it out, bro. You asked a great question. He asked about the ports, and if you guys don't know what's going on with that, there is a very important thing happening with the ports right now where they are in a strike. They are striking against the doing their job because they want money, they want wage increases. The Port Authority, the company that runs that whole place, will not give them anything for it, and so now they are looking at the having a strike at a major port. If you guys don't know how that affects the consumer goods and the pricing on consumer goods, it means that availability could drop if they don't come to an agreement on that. A lack of availability when there's still demand versus supply, that creates inflation. That would be the last thing that the Fed Reserve wants to see, and I will not be surprised to see the federal government step in because this could just unravel everything that the Fed Reserve has done to get inflation back in line if they can't get everything under control over there in those negotiations. So it's the entire East Coast. Yeah, it's the entire East Coast, Maine to Texas, guys. So those ports, those port workers, the port union there, not wanting to back off, and then the wage offerers not wanting to meet them at the table and meet their demands, guys, could result in more inflation. So keep all of that in mind, guys. That is what's going on there. But yeah, username. Keep doing your homework, bro. That's it. I watched all of that this morning. I just didn't know if it was too much to bring into today's show, but no, evidently you guys want top tier. I want to bring you top tier. Guys, we appreciate you all. We will be back here tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, the markets, and even, I guess, port updates so that you guys can have all the knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Till then, trade safe. And as always, use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall off. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Tar Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have, step fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall off. Sound off.
To get rhythm, the ZTS rhythm. Alexandra, G.